Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to it. It's our inaugural race, the Multi-GP Pro Spec. We are coming to you from the National Agricultural Center and Hall of Fame in Bonner Springs, Kansas, for the first race running that Multi-GP Pro Spec. It is all at multigp.com/pro spec. It's the Pro Stock frame or $399 practice rig. Motors with any stator volume, the same or as less than a 2808. Props are featured all the same at each and every event. We'll be swapping out our different prop partners. 6S Lipos, 2200 mAh capacity or less. Then D-Shot on the ESC's RPM limits enabled and Betaflight Pro Spec firmware. You're joining us here at the start of our next 16 group. 42 pilots competing and qualifying, and we've taken it to a top 16 and next 16 as we get set to go green with our first matchup of the night here. We have Wheelman, the number 32 seed overall, King, the number 25 seed overall, T-Bell, the number 24 seed overall, and Big Raymond, high seed in this one, the number 17 seed overall. So when they look at a top 16, next 16, he's your number 2 seed overall, getting set to go green. Actually, sorry, number 1 seed, your TQ, as it were. It is a match final situation. It looks like we are about to go green. Winner of this will go to our match final. Good luck, pilots. Armor Quads, live on the tone, lesson 5. There's a go tone, and what a way to start the party here tonight with an outstanding start. It's King with the whole shot and your lead here on this one. He's third in qualifying here this week. And leading your charge as he goes up over the dive gate, you got T-Bell, Wheelman, and Big Ramon in a battle for now first as we just lost our leader, King, on the opening lap. Going to put T-Bell up into the number 1 spot. Looks like Wheelman now into second. No, it's going to be Big Ramon in second. Wheelman down into third. T-Bell and Big Ramon leading the charge here on the opening lap. There we go.
Wheelman.
On to lap number 2. T-Bell just ahead of Big Raymond, and onto that lead lap as well we take Wheelman. T-Bell on the gas, going fast, out by those big electric poles. On board with Big Raymond, running the number 2 spot. He's got those purple or pink and / purple LEDs just in front of him. That's how close he is on T-Bell. It is a 4-lap race here tonight. They are separated by less than a second. T-Bell still leading Big Raymond, but looked like we saw some LEDs there. Just T-Bell just about got passed by Big Raymond, but T-Bell still holding him off. They're on lap number 3. Still 2 laps to go here in, or a lap and a bit still to go in our championship top 16. Match number 1, heat number 1, white flag flying for your leader, T-Bell. Big Raymond getting onto that final lap with them. And looking for Wheelman to catch up as well. Wheelman now on to that 3rd and final lap. Back on board with your leader. That back section up to the elevated gate. Big Raymond is only about 10 feet behind him. The winner advancing to our first match final of the night. Will Big Raymond reel in T-Bell, or will T-Bell hold him off? T-Bell with our first win of the night. Now, he was your 2nd seed in this matchup. We had 16th, 9th, 8th, and 1st. The seeding order here in our first heat in the match. And so T-Bell up a class right there, getting the win by about 7/10 of a second. 4 laps in 2 minutes, 1 second, 0.3. Big Raymond again, 7/10 of a second, just under 7/10 of a second back in the number 2 spot. 4 laps, 2 minutes and 2. And, of course, our format here will be a preliminary round or long round, each match into a match final. Our next 16 all going to compete once. A winner of each of the races going to our match final. We'll run 3 times through the program, 3 matches, as it were. And then we'll calculate some points to see who's going to advance to our grand final. We'll look on the screen. at your next ones to fly here in race number 2. The number 2 seed on the left-hand side, that is Flyboy 2009, followed by Nurk, the number 7 seed, Water Clocker, the number 10 seed, and Sonic FPV, the number 15 seed of this next 16. 2 from Indiana. Who's your daddy? There's a Nurk or Water Clocker from Indiana. Flyboy, your high seed in this one, all the way from the Prairie State, Illinois, and Sonic FPV from the Lone Star State of Texas. Again, the winner in this one, advancing to the match final here in the first round of races of match number 1. Who is going to be joining T-Bell? Looks like we are close to finding out. Two Dog RC, our flight line director, walking down the line, confirming video as we go into that arm sequence here in just a moment. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone. Lesson 5. Fantastic start here tonight as we send them full send here on this opening lap. It's Nurk leading, then Flyboy running second, Water Clocker, and Sonic FPV rounding out your top 4. Now look at the line of sight camera up top. You can see just how close our field is. And I just watched Flyboy 2009 crash line of sight camera and confirming that with the FPV camera. Nurk was leading. Now Nurk crashing out. And we are down to just 2, Water Clocker and Sonic FPV. Now, finish points kind of matter here in the first races of a match, but really it's your big finish in the match final.
Sonic
you win a match
FPV.
final, you go to the grand final, and we are grinding it out with Water Clocker and Sonic FPV. Water Clocker looks to be well out in front here with about a 3-second lead after 1 lap down with 2 laps to go at our inaugural multi-GP Pro Spec race. Next 16, and on to that midway point, we take
Sonic
Water
FPV.
Clocker, 2 laps down, 2 to go, and he has a little bit of an issue there, a little bit of a crash and a good recovery, and that took about a 3-gate lead down to a 1.5-gate lead. Water Clocker still ahead of Sonic FPV as we go over to that elevated guy on the backside. Now you can see it's now back to a 3-gate lead. Water Clocker over Sonic FPV. Water Clocker, one of the Hoosier
Sonic
State
FPV.
pilots, Sonic FPV from the Lone Star State of Texas. And now we go on to that final lap, lap number 4, and they are separated by just under 4 seconds right now. But in a situation like this, just want to finish your laps, and Water Clocker right now in fine form to make it to our first match final of the night here in our next 16, a multi-GP Pro Spec. And there is the bell for Water Clocker, 4 laps, 2 minutes 11. And we finish up strong as well with Sonic FPV, 4 laps and 2 minutes 16. Difference of about 5.2 seconds, first ahead of second. And looks like we are going to give third to Nurk, fourth to Flyboy 2009. Those points kind of matter here in the first races of match 1. But the big points in our match final, as we are now going to take Water Clocker into our first match final of the night versus T-Bell. 2 more positions to fill here in our first match. And again, a match is comprised of 4 races. That's with the next 16 competing in their seeded heats. Then the winner of each of those seeded heats advancing to our match final. 3 matches, so we do that program 3 times. If you win a match final, you're an automatic lock into the grand final. And so if we get a different winner each and every time we do this, match 1, match 2, match 3, then that means 1 position would come down to points in our grand final. If a pilot were to sweep, win match 1, match final, match 2, match final, match 3, match final, then positions 2 through 4 would be based on points as well. So finish points always matter. The racing matters. While we do have a second, of course, we do want to thank a few of our great partners that bring you the Multi-GP Pro Spec Kickoff. Thank you to VCI Hobby. They're a partner committed to your success every step of the way. VCIHobby.com. Also, A-Steam Village, new partner. They develop the talent needed for digital transformations. You can visit them at asteamvillage.com. Getting set for our third race of the match. It is going to be the number 14 seed, R3. The number 11 seed, Bent Props. The number 6 seed, Free Skyler. And your high seed in this one. Third for the group from Arlington, Texas, it is Chet Mack. Well, one to watch here. Now, he is your low seed in race number 3 of the first match. That's R3. He is a veteran when it comes to racing drones. We're about to go green. Pilots, Army Quads, live on the tone, lesson 5. There's a go tone. Everyone running the exact same spec, and we are off to the races in a big way, chasing your high seed, Chet Mack, as he is now officially under timing. Then it was Free Skyler, R3, Bent Props, 1, 2, 3, 4. Chet Mack with a little bit of company as you look to Free Skyler right behind him. Then you got R3, then Bent Props. R3 and Bent Props are on top of each other for third and fourth, but they are again right behind our leaders. Chet Mack holding off Free Skyler. Free Skyler about to make that pass, but Chet Mack holding him off, and there's Bent Props now up into second. And boom, R3. Free Skyler up in the lead. We just lost Chet Mack. He's back up in the air, dropping into fourth. So Free Skyler, Bent Props, R3, now Chet Mack, your running order after one lap down, and well, just over 2 3/4 still to go, chasing Free Skyler. As he goes to that back section, he is gapping the field by a little bit.
FR Skyler.
And now more issues for Chet Mack. Bent Props with a little wobble, but getting on to that lead lap, lap number 3. It's Free Skyler, Bent Props, and on that lead lap as well, R3 and Chet Mack. So looks like patience and perseverance here. We are going to try and finish our laps. We still have another lap after this one. Still chasing Free Skyler. And, oh no, a little bit of an announcer jinx, battery bump as well. Is it enough? Well, it's enough to tighten him up right there. As we go into the final lap, Bent Props now pushing up into Free Skyler's business. We have a huge battle for the win here in race number 3. Bent Props is just about 10 feet behind Free Skyler. Free Skyler started, I think, third in traffic, has been holding the lead, but now I'm looking at Bent Props. Looks like he may find a gear. Does it happen this final lap? Well, he may. Oh, no. Our leader, Free Skyler, goes down. Bent Props bounces off a gate. He recovers. Is it enough to open things up here? I don't know, man. Looks like no. Survey says denied. Bent Props is going to get the win. Chet Mack is still flying, having some fun. We are on lap 5, guys. This one isn't going to count. But what a finish right there. That's a difference of 0.7 of a second. Bent Props over Chet Mack. Bent Props representing the great state of Utah, making his way into our first match final of the night. And so Chet Mack, really one of the great stories of that race. Even though he doesn't advance to a match final, he was your high seed, got the hole shot, had the lead, crashes, goes into fourth, and just about redeemed himself, climbing his way up the running order and finishing second by 0.7 of a second. That one was a close one. And so now we got T-Bell, Water Clocker, and Bent Props in our finale, our match final of match 1. Of course, journey not done for R3, Free Skyler, and Chet Mack. We will see them again in match 2, match 3, and maybe a match final or grand final. there is a path of redemption to the grand final before it is all said and done. New partner that we want to thank here, that is Advantage Real Estate. They're here to help, honored to serve.
But you can't hear me.
You want to move into north central Missouri? They can help you get there. Just across the line from where we sit here.
So that's a voice
Kansas City,
video
Kansas. Bonner Springs on the outskirts of Kansas City.
Voice.
Or you maybe want to get out to north central Missouri. You can find out more information. To find an agent,
headphones.
Go to www.mostagentssuck.com. Mostagentssuck.com. Thank you to
I'm not even close to ready.
Talking about real estate, big fan of real estate, but we're getting real here. One position up for grabs, and our final four getting set to work in this one. Treviper, the number 13 seed of our next 16. The Herder, the number 12 seed. Ches FPV, the number 5 seed. And your high seed in this one.
Yeah. So
How
this
about
one,
it for free?
Your voice is not coming through on the back channel.
That seems like a
2021, 2022 top
Discord
15 in
setting
sport. Here he is at the inaugural multi-GP
okay.
Pro Spec race.
Yeah, did you?
No,
In
no,
our
it's a
next
brand new account. I
16,
couldn't
so the equivalent of a pro to sport with our next 16, as it were, and fourth in qualifying. So climbing up a position, definitely the racer to chase.
And I do a mic test
Here
and it's
in
working.
Like it comes back.
match 1,
Yeah, it plays it back.
race number 4. Again, preliminary round. We're off to the races.
That is
A little bit of a
super
wobble
weird.
bobble there. It's going to be Ches, Treviper, the Herder, and Free. 1, 2, 3, 4. And
it's a Surface. Yeah,
well,
it's a
a
different
little,
computer. It's a
little bit of
second
pressure
computer.
there on our leader. Ches FPV now looking to drop a position
But I
or
wonder
2
if
or
wonder
3
if my
as
mic
Treviper
count
leading out of the dive gate section. Then Free, Herder, and then Ches FPV in the caboose. Free
So I gotta
and
use their
Treviper
volume
back
to
and
turn it
forth
up. Oh,
here
look,
in the
there's a
number
mute.
1 spot to
bet you
move
now
on
it
up.
works.
Treviper just ahead of Free. This is on the opening lap. Will they be able to keep this pressure on? Now Free
muted
up into the number
myself
1
in
spot.
the last time.
Treviper now dropping to third. You got the Herder
probably
in the
hear me
mix as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to the Rona channel. Hold on.
Looks like Herder moving up into second. Now Treviper back into second as this one currently all
got me on the
free.
Rona channel?
Now Treviper back into second. Herder running third. 1, 2, and 3. We lost Ches FPV on the opening lap as our top 3 remaining 3 working
Right-click on me,
on
maybe?
the second lap of 4.
The Herder.
Continuing to chase Free. Free's
Treviper.
got this one on lock right now. Out of the dive gate section. The Herder now up into second through that dive gate section. Treviper dive gate section. We're just past the midway point. We're working on lap 3 of 4, 2 down.
You know, it's
And
really
just
weird.
1 and a bit more to go
My any
as
desk is
we are
being
chasing
stupid.
again your high seed Free
Free.
of Clinton, Indiana. IO is in his real
The Herder.
in his rule
No,
route. This race in his
Cream under
wheelhouse, loves flying the spec and looking to advance to our first match final of the night, leading by
I'm not connected to anything on any
8
desk.
seconds, 6 seconds over our field here on the final lap. Herder running second,
Free.
but
Well,
there is
that
a
would be
big
on,
gap in
That
separation.
would be on
As
Matt
you
the
just heard the
Herder.
I'm not
ding
any
for
desk for
free,
some reason my any
advancing
desk
to
says
our
license expired.
first
Treviper.
match final of the night. Second going to go to the Herder. Official digits coming in just under 5 seconds, about 4.7 seconds back in the number 2 spot. Third going to go to Treviper, another 5.1
Yeah, he has me
seconds
on
back.
Discord.
And of course, Ches FPV, we lost on the opening lap, but everyone with a chance to run again and again. This is only the first sequence, match 1. Still with match 2 and match 3 with those opportunities to advance to tonight's grand final of our next 16 multi-GP Pro Spec. We've got some great prizes here this week, thanks to our friends at Radio Master, answering the call of hobbyists around the globe. They're dedicated to the continuous evolution of the hobby and keeping open hardware standards and open source platforms affordable and accessible to everyone. Radio Master RC. You got your Boxster yet? We got one in a cart. We're about to hook ourselves up. Yes, sir. New partner as well here in 2024. That is A-Steam Village. They develop the talent needed for digital transformation, specializing in the digital world and delivering the message through STEM and STEAM. You can find out more about them, www.asteamvillage.com. Of course, we have Team Black Sheep with us as well. Real Serious Toys, team-blacksheep.com, one of the first ever sponsors. Of course, the control link we see in and out of our flight lines, and Analog Pilots rocking the Unify Race Pro, leading analog VTX in the game even today. Also, Superior One Roofing. Why have just a regular roof when you can have a Superior One? Little celebration. Taxu being a spotter, sliding out, getting them all amped up and fired up here in our first match final of the night. Free bent props, water clocker, and T-Bell getting set to wage battle. Love when the spotter becomes a cheerleader. Getting that adrenaline pumping, blood running as well. Our thanks to T-Motor, the safer propulsion system located in the hero city of China, that is Nanchang. T-Motor products been used widely in film, television, agriculture, logistics, emergency rescue, and of course drone racing. You can find out more about them, uav-en.tmotor.com, or just Google them, T-Motor on the interwebs. Our thanks as well to iFlight, dedicated to creating enjoyable and immersive flights for everyone by going above and beyond what you think drones can do. Shop.iflight.com. On-site part support by Rect, a family-owned and operated business, leading online superstore based here in the U.S. You can shop Rect on-site and online, rect.com. So many great partners. Before we advance to our first match final of the night, our thanks as well to our local hosts, Kansas City Multi-Rotor. Yes, Guy. Thank you to Taylor, Joey. Of course, Matt King, the president of KC Multi-Rotor. All the cast and crew of KC Multi-Rotor helping us host our inaugural Multi-GP Pro Spec race. Looks like that's our last pilot sliding out to the line free. There's a look at the journey. T-Bell, winner of Match 1, Race 1. Water Clocker, the winner of Match 1, Race 2. Ben Props, winner of Match 1, Race 3. And that leaves Free in a back-to-back situation. Winner of Match 1, Race 4. Heat 4, the long round. Pilots firing up those quadcopters, getting set to fly here inside of a Saturday night. Bonner City, Kansas. Got up to the 70s, high 70s today. We're now about 63 degrees in the sunshine. Just after 9 o'clock local time. Gonna drop to 61. So inside the flight line, maybe a little cold, but it's about to get hot here on the racetrack. Yes, Guy, I like it. That energy. Who has more fun than us? Nobody. Well, let's get sent to go green here with your match final. One of those pilots featured here in the match final going to be Free, along with Bent Props. Free from Indiana, Water Clocker from Indiana, Bent Props from Utah, and T-Bell from Minnesota. One of the spec rules, got to have LEDs on your craft visible at all times. You can see half of our field here trying to conserve the LiPo, restricted to that 6S 2200 mAh. There's Two Dog RC, our flight line director, walking down the line, trying to confirm. Control link, video link. 3 of 4 pilots about ready to fly. Now we got 4. Full video. Pilots, arm your quads. We're going to the skies. Live on the tone in less than 5. There we go. Big night of drone racing. And we are underway. T-Bell leading our charge. Looks like you got Ben Props in the mix and Water Clocker and Free. Free now sliding himself up into 3rd. It's going to be Bent Props now back in the number 4 spot. Watching that line of sight camera, you can see a couple position changes right there as it's once again Free up into the lead, but he had a battery bounce. That slid Water Clocker T-Bell just in front of him. Bent Props still working
Water
in the
Clocker.
mix as well. And
Props.
on to lap 2 we go. It's T-Bell ahead of Free, Water Clocker, and Bent Props. 1, 2, 3, 4. T-Bell in the purple/pink. You actually just watched him go around to gate and saw a little bit of the radiation from his LED. But look at Free right behind him, a little chase cam.
T-Bell.
Here to see who's going to win our first match final. Again,
Props.
win a match final. You're in the
Water
grand final tonight. And we are now all working on lap number 3. T-Bell, Free. Ben Props up into 3rd. Water Clocker down into 4th. T-Bell still just ahead of Free. Free is about 20 feet back. There's about a flag on board with Free. You can see the LEDs at T-Bell right in front of him as the white flag flies. We get on to our final lap. Getting set to wave a checkered. Free all up on the business at T-Bell. T-Bell trying to hold off, and there was the pass. Free on that dive section from the elevated gate down and underneath. As he stitches it up, he jumps in the number 1 spot, and a W right there for Free. Our first match final champion. Yes, sir. What a heater. T-Bell had it on lock. And unfortunately, not going to be able to hold off Free when it's all said and done. How about the finish, though? Point 193. Free over T-Bell when it was all said and done. So that isn't all the Stooges there. There's only one. Free is your one to, well, technically advance to a match final. It's not entirely wrong. But he is, he's your match final champion. He's going to go to our grand final. Now, of course, match 2, same as match 1, different seeding order. Now it'll be different based on the points. And then match 3, we reseed after each and every round. Now, how does that work? We will take a look at all the points. We will reseed them based on non-qualifying. Qualifying is now over. We are going to now seed them based on their finishing orders in the match final. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So Free now number 1 on points. T-Bell number 2 on points. Ben Prop number 3 on points. Water Clocker number 4 on points. We know that. And everyone else to comprise 5th through 16th. It's going to come down to their elapsed time in their race in the previous match for the points from the first round. So as I take a little look here, who would be 5th in this mess? It's going to be Big Raymond. Big Raymond. So he did 4 laps, 2:02. Not the fastest run, but once you take T-Bell's time out of there, he was 4 laps in 2:01. Free was 4 laps, 2:01 in that preliminary round. So obviously they already got points. So once you take them out of the equation, yeah, Big Raymond going to be 5th on points. 6th going to be the Herder. Now 7th, Chet Mack. All the way down to who is in 16th. That's going to be King. King crashed on an opening lap. He was one of 2 pilots to do it. So he goes from 9th into 16th, but everyone with a chance to redeem themselves as we will regroup, refocus, and again get set for match 2. So in the first one, again based on the points, now your points leader, Free, along with 8th on points now, Treviper, 9th on points, R3, 16th on points, as we just said, King. Match 2, Heat 2 is going to be T-Bell, Chet Mack, Wheelman, and Nurk. Match 2, Race 3 is going to be Ben Props, The Herder, Sonic FPV, Ches FPV. And Match 2, Race 4 will be Waterclocker, Big Raymond, Free Skyler, and Flyboy 2009. If you're just joining us, this is the Multi-GP Pro Spec inaugural race. We're in Bonner City, Kansas, just outside of the greater Kansas City, Kansas area. Just across that state line from Kansas City, Missouri. That's your major airport. Then you cross state lines to go to the drone racing party. What a venue we're at. It is the Ag Hall of Fame. National Agricultural Center and Hall of Fame in Bonner Springs, Kansas. All those poles that you see in the background, they are host and home to the International Linemen's Rodeo. They bring in over, I think, 3,000 different linemen, electrical workers. No, over 5,000 utility linemen from around the globe competing in pole climbing contests. October 19th is the big day this year. You want to check out another competition. So many different things happening here at this venue. Earlier this year, the Barnyard Babies Family Festival, Tractor Cruise in May, Show and Shine, Car Show, and Potato Festival back in July. Here in the Multi-GP Pro Spec race in August. Again, coming up in October, the International Linemen's Rodeo. And then, a week later, the Jack-O-Lantern Jamboree. So we're super stoked here. This is our inaugural Multi-GP Pro Spec race. We're about a third of the way through our program of our next 16 group to fly in our inaugural Pro Spec race. Everyone running the exact same spec. Frame, Multi-GP Pro stock frame. The motors, any motor with a stator volume the same as or less than a 2808 motor. The props, well, they're going to have the identical props, but they'll change event to event. LiPo 6S 2200 mAh capacity or less. And then the electronics, any ESC with D-Shot and RPM limit enabled. Any Betaflight controller. For video downlink, it can be HD0 or analog. For control link, choice is theirs. And most importantly, of course, we have that RPM limit enabled on our Betaflight Pro Spec firmware. And a shout out to Lehman, who has been a big part of programming that Betaflight Pro Spec firmware, as he gives me a little love as well. Scully One Love programmed into every pilot's OSD. One love for Scully and much love for Limon and all the cast and crew. We've been looking for spec racing. We've been looking for stock racing. Many different editions of it. And here in 2024, featuring both stock and spec. Tonight, it's Pro Spec. At the 2024 International Open, we had all the specs and stocks. And bottom center of the screen right there, that was the guy who won most of it. Amari, who we're going to feature a little bit later on in our championship top 16. Open this out here with some spotting, as it were. as we get set to roll into our next round. Again, it is match 2. So, of course, we have rounds. Trying to keep that nomenclature right. So, what normally would be called a round is a match. That is 4 races. The winner from each of those races go to the match finals. So, when I say round, I mean match. When I call a heat, that is actually a race. So matches, that's the 5 races. 4 of those races are looking for one winner. And the winner of those 4 races going to the match final. So after we run the 4 matches comprised of 4 races in a match final, then we take our top 4 of the 16 to our grand final. You win a match final, you are in the grand final, and we've already punched 1 ticket for free. Who jumps from number 1. He was 4th in qualifying. In our next 16, a multi-GP Pro Spec of this inaugural race. Now he moves himself up 3 pegs into the number 1 spot. He's in this one, along with Viper now in 8th. R3 now in 9th, and King looking for a little redemption. Great LED lined course. Course remains the same. The quads remain the same in our Pro Spec. And with everyone running the same spec, truly coming down to pilot skill. And we have 4 pilots getting set to fly. Winner in this one going to our match final. Is it going to be King, R3, Viper, or Free? We are about to find out. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. We're going live on the tone in less than 5. Big start. It is Saturday night under the bright lights in Bonner City, Kansas. And we are underway, chasing number 1 on points, Free. He just got passed. Looks like that pass was by Viper. You also got King in the mix. R3 in the mix. And now it's King leading Free, Viper, and R3 here on the opening lap. Just looks like we just lost Free, so we're down to King, Viper running 2nd, R3 running 3rd, and now we are going to drop a peg with King. Let's move Viper up in the lead, King right R3 behind him. And there's R3 up into 3rd, chasing Viper. King is closest to him. They're almost on top of each other. Watch the LOS camera right there. It's still Viper just ahead of King. Now we saw a change. King ahead of Viper, and now Viper back ahead of King. Oh, King just bounced off a gate, had to double back, and so gap and separation. Viper now up into the number 1 spot. On R3. To lap 3. 2 down, 2 to go for Viper. 2 down, 2 to go for King. And now 2 down, 2 to go for R3 as well. Pretty tight grouping right now, but will Viper be able to hold off everyone? Looks like Viper was actually 4 spots behind King in qualifying. He's now about 7 or 8 spots ahead of him on points. And now he's about 17, 18, 19 gates ahead of King, as King is now down on lap 3. Viper now working on his final lap. We're going to put R3 in 2nd on his final lap as well. But looking like we are separated by quite a few on this one. About 6 seconds. Viper just going to try and finish strong. There we are across the line. Viper with the win to advance to our match 2 match final. There's R3 across the line in 2nd. Nice smooth flying. Looks like finishing about 5.5 5 seconds. 5.5 seconds back in second. Third is going to go to King. And fourth to Free. Well, looks like this one is going to be under review. Nope, there's the adjustment.
King.
The only review required there was the input. All right, I like your style. We are now fixed. Viper advancing to our match final here, match number 2. And it looks like results are official as we feature them there on the screen. Second R3, third to King, and fourth to Free. Yeah, that is what I got here as well. What a great night for drone racing. Yes, sir. Super stoked to bring you all of this action. Of course, this is our next 16 of the Multi-GP Pro Spec. And coming up a little bit later on in our program, our championship top 16. So we're taking our field of about 42 different pilots who have made the trip to Bonner Springs, Kansas City. Kansas, Bonner Springs, Kansas, just outside of Kansas City, the inaugural Multi-GP Pro Spec. Thanks to our many great partners again bringing us this foray into Pro Spec, TBS, Superior One Roofing, T-Motor, iFlight, Rect, VCI Hobby, Advantage Real Estate, A-Steam Village, and Radio Master. It couldn't be done without the support of our great sponsors and our drone racing community. And, of course, we want to thank each and every one of you for taking in this race as well on the Multi-GP YouTube channel. And if you enjoy it, a couple of things you can do. You can share our broadcast of this next 16, our top 16, with all your friends, family, and followers. And, of course, you can also find out more about the Pro Spec at multigp.com/prospec.
Match 2, heat number 2 is where we're at. Multi-GP's Pro Spec Finals here inside of a Saturday night. There's a look. You got T-Bell, Chetmack, Wheelman, and Nurk. Looks like Nurk dropping a few positions. Was 7th in our field here in our next 16, dropping down into 15th. Wheelman right now is 10th on points. That's after pulling up a 3rd in the first round. Chetmack, big move up into 7th on points here after pulling a 2nd in the first round. And T-Bell makes it to the match 1 match final and slides all the way up from 3rd into 2nd on points. Pilots are set to fly. Good luck, contenders. Arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. There's Go Tone. First one off the block is going to be T-Bell. And, of course, it is Pro Spec as we watch all 4 out there line of sight. Looks like the purple is in the lead. That's going to be Chetmack. Wheelman right behind him. Nurk behind him. And T-Bell in the backside here on the opening lap. All of them working in that cube. And T-Bell and Nurk down. It's like survival of the fittest. It's going to be Chetmack and Wheelman, your last 2 here on the opening lap. A little bit of a mistake there by Chetmack. Wheelman now is only about 30 feet back. Of course, on this one, it's not who's 2nd. It's not who's 3rd. We're looking for your
Wheelman
top contenders to advance. And it's a winner in each and every one of our matches here tonight. Is Chetmack leading by 3.3 seconds. Working on lap number 2. Wheelman starting to wheel in
Chet
Chet
Mack.
Mack a little bit. There's Chet Mack now on to lap 3.
Wheelman.
Wheelman back a little bit now. Lost about 2 seconds there in that final turn at the end of lap number 2. Now 5 seconds back behind our leader, Chet Mack. And so Chet Mack qualifying 3rd overall. In his first match, he was 2nd. Now he's looking to get a win to advance to his first match final of the night here in our
Chet
next
Mack.
16, a multi-GP Pro Spec. We got 3 laps down for Chet Mack. On to lap 4, we take him.
Wheelman.
Bringing Wheelman across as well, 7 seconds back now. So after lap 1, it was a 3-second deficit. Lap 2, a 5-second deficit. Lap 3 now, a 7-second deficit. That means it's all Chet Mack right here now to get this one won. The Texan working for us here.
Chet
Climbing
Mack.
his way up the leaderboard. And there is 4 for Chet Mack. 4 laps in 1:59 to advance to
Wheelman.
our match 2 match final. He'll be joining Viper, who we saw win our previous heat here tonight. And then unofficially, we're going to give 3rd to Nurk, 4th to T-Bell, based on basically that whole shot time. And then we'll update the points accordingly. But the big story here in match number 2, heat number 2, Chet Mack moving to his first match final of the night. Yeah. There's a look at our bracket there on the screen. Viper and Chet Mack, your 2 successful pilots here tonight so far in our next 16 of the Multi-GP Pro Spec. We're coming to you from Kansas City, Missouri, on a pretty wild venue. This is home to the World Championships of linemen. And we're talking like electric company linemen. You see all those poles there in the background. They spend a fair bit of time working their way through the program, setting up all the poles and working their way across. Yes, sir. Well, getting set here for match number 4 as they work their way out to the line. We're going to have Water Clocker, Big Ramon, Free Skyler, and Flyboy 2009. Nope, I'm already a heat ahead. This is going to be Bent Props, The Herder, Sonic FPV, and Ches FPV. So Bent Props, 27th in qualifying overall, but he's now worked his way up in the points. He was 11th in the group, now works himself up into 3rd. That was by making it to our previous match 1 match final, pulling up a 3rd place finish, bunch of points, gain a bunch of positions. The Herder, who also was a little more successful on the points, 11th in the group in qualifying, and won his match 1 preliminary race. Was 2nd in his preliminary race, so moving up a few positions, 6th now in our field, along with Sonic FPV and Ches FPV. 4-lap races, the winner advancing to our match final. So far, we know Chet Mack is there. We know that Viper is there. One of these 4 pilots going to join them. Contenders are set to fly. Thank you, 2Dog. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. Pitter patter, we're getting at her. All 4 of them off the blocks at the exact same time. And we are 4 wide out on that backstretch. Looked like the Herder just ahead of Bent Prop, Sonic FPV, Ches FPV in the caboose. And now already a position change. A Herder sliding himself up to just ahead of Sonic and Bent Props. 1, 2, and 3 here on the opening lap. Of course, it's not 1 on lap number 1. Looking for our champ of the round to advance to our match final after 4 laps. Bent Props and the Herder, 1 and 2. Sonic FPV now running third, but he's within striking distance. Bent Prop just ahead of Herder,
Bent
and now
underscore
Herder
props.
tries to
Herder.
get closer to 0.3 of a
Sonic
second
FPV.
apart with 3 laps to go. Only 1.6 seconds separating all 3 pilots now working on to lap number 2. And we continue to chase Bent Props. Herder still close to him. We just lost Sonic FPV. Bent Props and Herder working on lap number 2 here in our 4-lap race.
Bent underscore props.
There's Bent Props now on to lap 3, halfway through. 2 down, 2 to go, and issues for the Herder. He is down on the ground. Let's see if we can get him back up again. Looks like no, he's going to throw her in pit mode. We see Rainbow Road. Normally, rainbows are a sign of happiness. Unfortunately, it's going to be sadness for the Herder. And now we're about to go on to a third lap or 4th lap now with Bent Props. This will be a victory lap for Bent Props, advancing to our match final here in match number 2. Just going to try and finish strong. Obviously, can play a little safe to conserve the quad or the drone here tonight. And we talked about that venue, our Lineman World Championship venue in the Great Electric Poles, or as we say in the north, the hydro poles, as we get a lot of our electricity from water.
Bent underscore props.
And coming in hot into our match 2, match final, gonna be Bent Props, 4 laps in 2 minutes even at the old W here tonight. So that is another win for Bent Props. So he was 11th in qualifying here in this group, works his way up into 3rd, and probably going to be 2nd now as he advances to his 2nd match final of the night. Could be grand final bound. In his first match final, he was 3rd, but we'll see. Right now, he's going to be matched up versus Chetmack and Treviper, and one of our remaining 4 pilots here in our next 16. Final heat of match number 2, walking out to the line in that preliminary round. Gonna be Water Clocker, Big Raymond, Free Skyler, and Flyboy walking out to the line. There's a look at our points. Yeah, I called it without even being 100% on the format. There's Bent Props currently sitting number 1 on points with 137. Of course, we're going to see him in this match 2, match final. Chetmack right now 2nd on points. He advances to our match final. You got Free, who is not going to be in this match final, but Free having a pretty decent night, was 4th in qualifying for the group, won his preliminary round in match 1, won our first match final of the night, but earlier here in match number 2, had a little bit of bad luck, pulled up a 4th. That was crashing on lap number 1, but still anything can happen as he rounds out our top 3 on our points here. And that is you're in match number 2, heat number 2. We're about halfway through our program before we get to our grand final, our next 16, the Multi-GP Pro Spec. Of course, tonight's broadcast brought to us by our friends at TBS, Team Black Sheep, Real Serious Toys, along with a multitude of our multi-GP season partners like Superior One Roofing, the premier local roofing contractor with 40 years of experience and thousands of roofing projects under their belt. Locations in Dallas and just outside of Melbourne, Florida as well. Thank you, Superior One Roofing, for your long-term support. With thanks to Team Motor, iFlight, Rect, VCI Hobby, Advantage Real Estate, Ace Team Village, and Radio Master comprising our roster of partners for tonight's Multi-GP Pro Spec Final. Well, we're about to go green. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone, less than 5. Here we go, off to the races. Who is advancing to that match final versus Treviper, Chetmac, and Bent Props? Bullshot going to go to Water Clocker, then Flyboy 0.2 of a second behind him. Free Skyler and Big Raymond, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not much separating them here on the start. And all 4 pilots here grinding it out, trying to make it to our match 2 match final to keep collecting those points to advance to tonight's grand final of our first ever Pro Spec Championship.
FR Skyler.
There's
Water
Free
Clocker.
Skyler making a big move.
Flyboy
Water Clocker in
2009.
second. Flyboy into
Big
third.
Ramon.
Big Ramon in fourth. So a little bit of a shuffle up from when we saw them at the whole shot. Still with 3 laps to go. Working on lap number 2. And a pretty tight race. A 1/10 of a second. Free Skyler ahead of Water Clocker. Last time that we saw them at the line. And we are
FR
going full
Skyler.
send. There's Free
Water
Skyler, Water
Clocker.
Clocker, 7/10
Big
of a
Ramon.
second apart. Big Ramon,
Flyboy
Flyboy, 1.9
2009.
seconds separating all 4. Still chasing Free Skyler, but this is truly anyone's game. Water Clocker is a little bit further behind. Now you're throwing into the mix the rest of the field here. This one is a grinder. Was on board with Big Ramon, and he was within
FR
striking
Skyler.
distance of our leader.
Water
White
Clocker.
flag flying, 1 to go for
Big
Free
Ramon.
Skyler, the second ahead of the rest of
Flyboy
the field. Water Clocker, Big
2009.
Ramon, and Flyboy now looking for that big move as we go larger screen on your leader, Free Skyler. Why do we do that? Well, you want to make sure that there are no quads in front of him as he is trying to work his way to that win. And if you take a look right now, Water Clocker top left, you can do a little chase cam.
FR
As that's
Skyler.
Water Clocker now dropping down
Big
to third
Ramon.
behind Big Ramon.
Water
It's going
Clocker.
to be Free Skyler, Big
Flyboy
Ramon, Water Clocker,
2009.
and Flyboy. Your running order, your finish order, as it were, in that one. And so Free Skyler now advancing to tonight's match final here in match number 2. Yes, sir, indeed. All smiles there on the left-hand side of Free Skyler. He's competing in his first match final here of the night. Chetmac and Treviper will also be competing in their first match final tonight, and it'll be a welcome back for Bent Props, who has really climbed his way up to the points here after match number 1, now into match number 2, and competing in his second match final of the evening. We're back again with Team Motor, the safer propulsion system located in Nangchang, the hero city of China. Those Hero Motors, Team Motor products have been used widely in film and television, agriculture, logistics, emergency rescue, and of course drone racing. Committed to becoming the safest power system supplier, providing customers with both regular and high-end customized products. You can visit them, uav-en.tmotor.com. A little bit of a weird URL, just Google them, T-Motor. They'll come up number 1 on Google. They're number 1 in our hearts as well. Thank you to T-Motor for your support of the 2024 Multi-GP Pro Spec. Beautiful look there of our venue. Nice green grass. Running our Pro Spec Multi-GP Pro Stock Frame or $399 practice rig. LEDs, of course, required as we are enjoying the chase cams here tonight. Any motors with a starter volume the same or as less than a 2808 motor, keeping it wide open for the industry to participate. Props, are designated for each of our Pro Spec events. This is the inaugural of the 2024 season. batteries, Course 6S, 2200 mAh capacity or less. And then the electronics, any ESC with D-Shot and RPM limit enabled, any Betaflight flight controller, any HD0 or analog VTX camera, and any control link, Betaflight Pro Spec firmware is required to comprise our MultiGP Pro Spec race class of the season. And it is fun as we see our roster of about 42 different pilots competing over the course of yesterday into the early hours here tonight. And to qualify here into our top 16 and next 16, it's like getting laps recorded, 36 pilots officially getting on the board when it was all said and done. A few were just there to support, fly the event. Earlier, we had a next group for some fun and prizes. And if you're just joining us here on the MultiGP YouTube channel, we are in our next 16 of Pro Spec. Taking a look at those points there, you can see it's going to shuffle up and they're going to change again. As we get ready for our second match final of the evening. There's a look at him. There's a look at our previous race. There's Chet Mack getting himself dialed in out of the line. A short walk back to our flight line, our flight deck, as it were. The rest of our pilots following suit. Viper, Bent Props, and Free Skyler. So what's the advantage here? Bent Props competing in his second match final of the night. Chet Mack, who is close, pulled up a second in the first round. Now he is coming in hot. High in qualifying, third for the group. Free Skyler, who we just saw win previous race, a little back-to-back. And of course, Viper, that hometown advantage. Pilots are set to fly. We're going green. Contenders, arm your quad. We're live on the tone in less than 5. All four up at the exact same time. A full send around our first couple of poles over a hurdle. And to our timing gate to commence the party. Whole shot going to go to Free Skyler. So there's a back-to-back situation. Looks like going to hurt or hinder Free Skyler as he is out. Looks like Bent Props with issues as well. And so now down to just 2, Chet Mack and Viper. Chet Mack just ahead of Viper by about 2 gates by the looks of things. 3 to go for Chet Mack. There's a Viper, 2.3 seconds back onto that lead lap. Now, this is a match final, so those finish positions definitely matter as we're collecting each and every point, each and every round. There's the line of sight. They're separated by about 25, 30 feet. Looked like we got a little loosey-goosey there with Viper. Chet Mack on the gas, going fast. About to get at the midway point. There we are on to lap number 3 now. 2 to go for Chet Mack. And Viper now is, he's lost about 1.5 seconds. He's 3.7 seconds back behind Chet Mack. So again, this is, if this was a grand final, this would be for podium positions. It is a match final, and equally as important for those points to advance to what could be the grand final, the next 16 MultiGP Pro Spec. White flag flying, 1 to go for Chet Mack. Here comes Viper. Viper now onto that final lap. 5.7 seconds separating them. So Chet Mack has it on lock in the bag. This is his to win. 5.7 seconds. If it was open class, you'd really kind of worry about it. But here in the Pro Spec, you know, it's really going to take something special to make up 5 seconds on a final lap. Chet Mack with the win of our match 2 match final. 4 laps, 1:58. Viper finishing up second. We'll take those points for Viper. 7.9 seconds back in second. And then it'll come down to our officials to decide for certain. Free Skylar over Bent Props. But memory serves me correct. Free Skylar didn't even get off the line. So I believe it'll be fourth to Free Skylar, third to Bent Props. Our officials on site will make the adjustment if necessary. And there is a look. Results are under review by our officials. We know one thing or two things. First and second. The left and the second from the left are correct. We'll get those points there. And so they are reviewing that one. That one is under review before we officially get ready for our third match of the night. Just sounds like results may be official as I called them there. So no surprises. We have a new leader on points. It's going to be Bent Props. Bent Props makes it to the party 11th in our field of 16. Then, in his first round, wins his preliminary round, goes to a match final, pulls a third. Match number 2 in his preliminary round, gets a win. And, of course, won our match final that ended just moments ago. So that is going to put him number 1 on points. That final tally, I believe, happening here behind the scenes. So that is going to put Free in second. He was in first, now dropping him to second. Chet Mack up into third. Viper in fourth. But I'm not sure if we can take a look at those points there, Dougie. There is only 1 point separating fourth and fifth. Now, our match final's got a bunch of points in them. And, of course, we are trying to advance to our grand final after match number 3, our third full round. And if you look real close there, Viper on the bubble right now, 86 points. Water Clocker in fifth with 85. I'll do the math for you. That's a difference of 1 point. Also within striking distance, Big Ramon, he's only 3 points back. T-Bell is only 6 points back from the cut. So after 2 full match rounds, with match finals included, looks like your top 7 are in fine form with no guarantees. Now, Bent Prop with a huge advantage, though. He's got a lead of 54 points late in the night. 10:30 local. Math kind of went out the back door there. 54 points. Now, that can change in a hurry. Because they take your overall ranking from each round, each match. And so if you win your match final, it's 100 points. Second in the match final, 75. Third in the match final, 62. Fourth in the match final, 51. And you drop about 10 points back from there, 7 points down the list. So there is a chance. There is a path. But it could be a little bit of a difficult journey. Looks like on site we are now getting set to roll out our first heat of match number 3. Well, we do have an update. So we're watching Bent Props in that last one, not getting the win. They're going to score him 4th. And so we have a new points leader. That is Chet Mack. And so points now a little different than what we looked at. We have an adjustment now. So Chet Mack is your point leader by about 14 points. Chet Mack is leading over Bent Props, who pulled up a 4th there in that match final, drops him to 2nd. Free is still in 3rd. Treviper is still on the bubble. Now Treviper with a little bit of a breathing room, about 14 points ahead of the rest of the field. But as we take a look to 5th, 6th, 7th, I wouldn't even say 8th now after the adjustment, there is a path here pretty much for your top 8 to make it into our grand final of our next 16, the Multi-GP Pro Spec. And so now we have shuffled all the positions, and you're getting set to go through the order again. This is match number 3. Now on the points, you have Chet Mack, your leader, Wheelman, who's 8th, R3, who's 9th, T-Bell, who is 16th. T-Bell not having a night. All right. And we're in a standby situation. We're about to go green, but we slid into a holding pattern. That was some interesting running right there. Running with no hands. That was a penguin run. How does a penguin run? Just like that. Pilots are set to go green. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone. Lesson 5. There we go. We'll fix it up in post. Off to the races. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and that sighting, that flag turn. And now we are chasing your leader on points, Chet Mack. Then Wheelman moving up a position. T-Bell running 3rd. R3 running 4th. And pretty tight grouping here. 9/10 of a second separating them at that hole shot gate to officially start lap number 1. And we are chasing Chet Mack. He is your leader here by a few. Looks like Wheelman still solid
Chet
in
Mack.
2nd.
T-Bell.
Now there's T-Bell getting by Wheelman up into 2nd.
R3.
So Chet Mack, T-Bell,
Wheelman.
R3, Wheelman. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 seconds separating our entire field. Still a close one. 1 lap down. 3 laps to go as we continue to chase our points leader, Chet Mack. Now, I believe on the points, as he's your points leader, just needs to win this match. Go to the match
Chet
final,
Mack.
can pull a 4th. He'll be in our grand final
T-Bell.
here tonight. As he leads T-Bell by 1.7 seconds. T-Bell looking to
R3.
make something happen.
Wheelman.
Right now, he is 16th on points. He is down on those points. Going to try and make something happen here in match number 3. That is our third round of our next 16. Chet Mack now on to lap number 4.
T-Bell.
Gap in T-Bell by another half a second. T-Bell 2.3 seconds back here onto this final lap.
R3.
We still have R3 and Wheelman in the mix. They're kind of in a battle for third, fourth, separated by about 2 seconds. And, well, they are about just under 9 seconds away from Chet Mack. Looks like we're going to do back-to-back match finals for Chet Mack. He gets across the line 4 laps in a minute 58, a second faster than what he was earlier tonight. T-Bell 2.5 seconds back in second. We'll see. I don't know if those points are going to help T-Bell. Just going to have some bragging points on that final roster. We go 9.9 seconds back to R3, finishing up third. Wheelman finishing up fourth, 2 seconds behind him. And so another match final for your points leader, Chet Mack. And I think mathematically that is now a lock for Chet Mack into our grand final of our next 16 Multi-GP Pro Spec here tonight. So those points have now been calculated. So I believe, so it gives Chet Mack the full 100 right now, I believe, is how it has ranked him well out in front. About 115 points ahead of Ben Prop, who still can come back. Looked at those points earlier. I mean, 25 points difference. Yeah, I think that you could have a TQ change from the match final of match 3 before our grand final. And props were to get the first place, and I think Chet Mack would be third or fourth, but regardless, they'd be in the grand final in that scenario. It's like more adjustments happening behind the scenes. Just keeps moving Ben Props around. Now it has him in third. T-Bell up in second. But I think mathematically Chet Mack has it on lock to advance to our grand final. Still has the match final here in match number 3 to get to. There's a look of our previous heat of match number 3. We're set for Heat 2, match 3, the preliminary round. It's going to be Nurk, King, Flyboy, and Treviper. Nurk right now 15th on points from our field. Be interesting to see if a match win would be enough to move from 15th into our final 4. We'll just let Lady Luck have her choice. King, who's 10th in points right now. Flyboy, who's just a few spots out of our top 4. And Treviper right now 2nd on points ahead of this round. And Treviper stoked to have a race in his near backyard here in Kansas City, Missouri. Not very often he gets that opportunity. Normally he's traveling. Let's go green. The winner going to match 3's match final. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone. Less than 5. There's a great start. Treviper in the green, leading the charge. Flyboy was up in second. Now you got a new leader. Looks like that's going to be King pushing himself up into the lead. Look at the lead changes here. It's King, Flyboy, Treviper, Nurk, and we just lost Nurk. See if that video is going to come back. Looks like it's not about to right now. on board with your leader, King. He is leading the charge, but as he did a yaw spin around there, he could see the rest of the field behind him.
Flyboy 2009.
And that rest of the field making a
Viper.
pass there.
King.
There's Flyboy, Viper, now King, 1, 2, and 3. And you want to be first right now. You can maybe nickel and dime in on the points, but not going to be ideal. Let's just try and win a match, get into a match final, and grind our way into our grand final of our next 16 here tonight.
Flyboy 2009.
We're halfway through. 2 laps down, 2 to go for Flyboy with a 4-second lead over Viper and King. In a battle for second right now. They're 4 seconds behind their leader, but Viper 0.2 of a second ahead of King. He's on board with him, watching that lap traffic, but this one is all Flyboy right now. The 3/4 of the way through, lap number 3.
Flyboy.
There's a white flag for Flyboy. As he gets onto lap number 4, here comes Viper, here comes King, still grinding each on top of each other, but they're 5 seconds behind our leader, Flyboy. Our chase cam is following that battle for second, third right now. Off to the left-hand side of our screen, the blue of Flyboy. It's about 5 seconds ahead of the course. And, of course, love to see blade-to-blade racing. Flyboy going to advance to his first match final of the night. And now we're going to leave it all on the track. King making a pass on the final turn of lap 4 to pull up second in that battle for second with Viper. Flyboy with the win, 6 seconds back King, 0.6 of a second back from him, Viper, and Nurk we lost on the opening lap. And that concludes match 3, heat number 2. And results on the screen are now updated correctly. There we go. That's the final finish order. Love the varsity font there. First, second, third, fourth. Very fitting. It was a varsity sport. So we have 2 in our match final. Flyboy competing in his first match final. And when we looked at the overall points, he was in 7th. And so basically after the final tally, I'm like, well, top 8 with a chance to break that top 4. And Flyboy looking to go from 7th into our grand final. He'll be battling with Chet Mack and still 2 more positions to fill in that match final here in match number 3. As we get set for your third heat of the match, there's Free Skyler, Water Clocker, the Herder, and Ches FPV. Ches right now 14th in points, the Herder 11th, Water Clocker 6th, and Free Skyler 3rd on points, doing a little defense in addition to offense. So there's a big look at our overall points. Looking for Free Skyler. Before we started seeding, he was 3rd. Right now they have him in 9th because he hasn't accumulated any points right now. That could change. 72 points, get a win. A lot of math, a little bit of science, and a little bit of ultra. Also want to thank our friends at iFlight, dedicated to creating enjoyable and immersive flights for everyone by going above and beyond what you think drones can do. Visit them on the World Wide Web, on the interwebs, if you will. shop.iflight.com. Two Dog RC gives us the thumbs up. The all clear. We're going green. One of you 4 pilots advancing to our match 3 match final. Good luck, contenders. Arm your quads. We are live on the tone in less than 5. Big start right there. Looked like Free Skyler, your first one off the blocks. He is leading the charge. The rest of the field right behind him. I believe he's got the purple now. We're going to drop him a position. Water Clocker, then the Herder, then Free Skyler. 1, 2, 3. We lost Ches FPV. Ches FPV is in the mix. Looks like just didn't get the whole shot time, but it's all good. We are watching. We have judges, remote officials, on-site officials, and so we will make an adjustment here. At least after lap number 1, we are chasing Water Clocker right now. No one in front of him.
FR Skyler.
No, we're
The
chasing
Herder.
Free Skyler. Free Skyler and the Herder. They're 1 and 2. Free Skyler, the Herder, your 2 leaders, 0.4 of a second apart. And then we will get on to that lead lap with Water Clocker. He's 9.5 seconds back. And Ches FPV in our caboose, I believe. We're chasing Free Skyler. The Herder was 0.4 of a second back. Free Skyler now halfway through, 2 laps down, 2 to go. The Herder 1.4 seconds back in the number 2 spot. Free Skyler and the Herder.
Water Clocker.
Well, Free Skyler's been to a match final. The Herder looking to make it to his first match final. He's got to find Free Skyler. Make up about 1.4 seconds here.
FR Skyler.
Another lap to go. White flag flying for Free Skyler. On to lap 4, we take him. It looks like the Herder is back a bunch. There's the Herder, 9 seconds back in second. Water Clocker getting onto that lead lap, but he's 12 seconds behind our leader, Free Skyler. He's got this one on lock to go to his second match final of the night. We saw him in the match 2 match final, finished up 3rd in that one. And he gets it done 4 laps in 2 minutes even. I want to talk about consistency. In match number 2, in the preliminary round, the open round, Free Skyler was 4 laps, 2 minutes, 0.3. This time around, 4 laps, 2 minutes, 0.2. So there's a little bit of consistency right there for Free Skyler. You know what he's about to do. Jet Mac and Flyboy. Basically going to have that to watch. 4 laps, 2 minutes even, Free Skyler's pace. Unless he's saving something for a match final. Well, we will find out as he'll be on deck. Free Skyler, Flyboy 2009, and Chet Mack. Your 3 to advance to our match final here in match number 3 with 1 more heat to go. There's a look, all smiles. Free Skyler, Colville, Washington. '22nd overall in qualifying here this week, the Multi-GP Pro Spec Championship. So that put him, what, 6th in our field. 22nd overall. He's been at the game a while. Our global leaderboard, our global qualifiers back in his rookie year, he was top 200 in 2019. 2020, he was top 25 on the GQ list. 2021, top 25 as well on the GQ leaderboard. And here, everyone racing the exact same frame. The spec, as it were. He's holding his own. We'll have to take a look at our match final when we take a look at our flight line. Is Free Skyler rocking the Free Sky still? Or has he moved on to Radio Master? The rest of the drone racing world. Match number 3, heat number 4. We have the number 13 seed now on points. That is a drop from, I think, 3rd in qualifying for Free for the group. 12th on points for the group, Sonic FPV. 5th on points for the group, Big Ramon. And your high seed in this one right now on the bubble ahead of this match, Bent Propped. So many points to be won. The match final with 1 position open and a grand final still to be decided. We're talking about our good friends at Radio Master, answering the calls of hobbyists around the globe. They're dedicated to the continuous evolution of the hobby and keeping open hardware standards and open source platforms affordable and accessible to everyone. RadioMasterRC.com, one of our prize sponsors of our inaugural Multi-GP Pro Spec race here in Kansas City. All smiles on the left-hand side of our screen there. There's Heads Up FPV. Fans are watching. Turn to your right. A little bit more right. A little bit more right. A little bit more right. Just a hair more right. Not going to happen. Maybe that was a doppelganger. I think that was a doppelganger. My bad. We'll cut that one out in post. Round 3/match 3. Heat number 4. 3 Sonic FPV, Big Ramon, and Bent Props. One of these 4 pilots going to our match 3 match final. Good luck, pilots. Ooh, a little bit of a shaky fall off the blocks there for Bent Props. There's Nurk saving the day, checking the 4 propellers. They spin. Spin to win. That guy is a hero. Nurk is one of our frontline heroes. We appreciate your patience, pilots. Here we go. Arm your quads. Let her rip on the tone in less than 5. Huge start. Big Ramon leading the charge. Then Bent Props, Sonic FPV, and Free. Look at this. 1, 2, and 3. Sonic, Big Ramon, Free, Bent Props. Position changes again. Sonic FPV was your leader. Your leader just went down. And we are down to just 3. Big Ramon and Free running first and second now. And Bent Props trying to catch up. There's Big Ramon and Free, 0.4 of a second apart. Bent Props 2.7 seconds back. Not the worst. Anything can happen, especially when we're seeing these catastrophic crashes. Losing Sonic FPV on the opening lap, and there's what I was talking about. Maybe Free and Big Ramon with a bit of a midair right there. We lost Free. He's the victim. And so now we got a battle 1 and 2. Bent Props and Big Ramon. Now remember, and Big Ramon goes down. This one's all Bent Props. So there is a lesson. There is a story. Perseverance and patience paying off. Bent Props was in 4th. Then we lost Sonic, moved up into 3rd. Then we lost Free, moved up into 2nd. Was about to make a pass by Big Ramon. Big Ramon crashes, and no pass needed. Bent Props, your hero of the game. On to lap 4, and whoa, looked like he got a little loosey-goosey there. This looks to be a victory lap. We're only on lap number 4. His spotter saying, you got this, you won, but you never know. Someone could turtle. But we always say every pack, every lap matters. A little more track time. And Bent Props is our only pilot to compete in all 3 match finals. On points before we went green here in our match 3 final. And Bent Props, your hero of the game, making it to his 3rd match final. Back-to-back situation here for Bent Props. So our final 4 here in match number 3 set, our match final as it were. It's going to be Bent Props, Free Skyler, Flyboy, and Chet Mack. Wondering, yeah, there's a look at our last race. Bent props was 4 laps in 2 minutes 24. It was about 24 seconds longer than what he did in the previous round. 15 seconds longer than what he did in the first round. So not his best round, but again, that was, he knew he was advancing after lap 3 and just about brought it down, but then finished. Got to remember that rule that's in the multi-GP rulebook, 7.9.2 or whatever it is, right? No ace will be awarded if no one wins the final. Now, I know that we are in a preliminary round of a match, but always good to finish up those laps. Jetmax Race Band 1. Channels be Jetmac Race Band 1, Flyboy Race Band 3, Freeskyler Race Band 6. Freeskyler's Race Band 6. And Bent Props Race Band 8. So we're having some communication here behind the back. Chetmac is good. Yes, Chetmac is good on points. Right now, looks to be in by about 60 points. I think the worst case scenario, if he pulls a 4th, he'll still be in by about 20 points. But we have Bent Props. Right now, 2nd on points. Freeskyler is 3rd on points. And Treviper is right now 4th on points. Now, Treviper isn't in this match final. But we have a wild card in this one. That is Flyboy 2009. Flyboy is trying to earn enough points here to break that top 4. It looks like a 1st would do it. A 2nd may do it. I don't think a 3rd or a 4th would be enough for Flyboy. Looks like top 2. I mean, let's just get the win. Make the math easy. Got a new partner, our friends at A-Steam Village. They develop the talent needed for digital transformation. Their community is focused on driving innovation, workforce development, community development, and economic development in a digital world through STEM and STEAM education. Thrive and reach their full potential. You visit them at asteamvillage.org. That's the letter A, not the Canadian EH. A as an apple, steamvillage.org, because you want to check out a Steam Village. www.asteamvillage.org. Just in a slight holding pattern here, maybe going to a replacement drone for Flyboy. He's having some issues. Flyboy is the one to watch right now because right now it looks like Chetmac, Freeskyler, and Bent Props are in. I don't think anything could change there in their situation. So they're good on the points. But Flyboy is the one who's trying to get a win, maybe a 2nd, to advance to our grand final. You may hear some yelling here. I'm going to hypothetically put in some points here. Don't yell at me, Matt King. Don't yell at me. Just want to see if this is just for fun or I've now put in the official points race. Yes, a win for Flyboy would put him 3rd overall. If Flyboy wins, Freeskyler, Bent Props, and Chetmac are in. And so this is a little bit of team racing, as it were. Let me see if I can What if Flyboy is second? Would second put Flyboy in? Oops. That is that would be a first. And so just a little update coming in. If someone wins the match final, they're automatically in the grand final. And so I have confirmed Flyboy needs the win. I put in a hypothetical with Flyboy in second that did not break our top 4 for the grand final. So you kind of have an ace to chase by way of Flyboy. Good luck, Chet Mack, Free Skylar, and Bent Props. Let's see what happens. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. There's a go tone, and we are off to the races. Saw a little bit of a staggered start there. We'll see. Even though the start was staggered, you can see them catching up. They're 1, 2, 3, 4. Chet Mack, Flyboy, Free Skylar, and Bent Props. All eyes on Flyboy right now. He has got the leader, Chet Mack, in his sights. We got Free Skylar running third, Bent Props running fourth. Chasing Chet Mack, your points leader. Does he go into our grand final? Number 1 pilot with a target on his back. He gets a win for sure. Second, maybe.
Chet Mack.
It is Chet Mack, Flyboy, Free Skylar, Bent Props, 1, 2, 3, 4. Flyboy half a second back behind Chet Mack and just about made a pass out of the dive cube section right there. Chet Mack feeling that pressure. Flyboy all up in Chet Mack's business as they go out to the poles. You also got Free Skylar running third, Bent Props running fourth. They go out to that pole section as well. And look how close it is. Separated by about 4 feet. There's just about a pass right there. Flyboy now pushing himself just ahead of Chet Mack. Free Skylar, Bent Props, third and fourth. They're 2 seconds behind our leader, which was Flyboy. Now Chet Mack back in the number 1 spot. This is lap number 3. Still 2 laps to go. Or at least a lap and a half. Chet Mack still holding off Flyboy. Flyboy had a turn at the lead. Just about tried to make that pass there as well, but it just seems like more momentum by Chet Mack. There's a better line for Flyboy. Flyboy now your leader onto the final lap. Chet Mack is now running second, doing a little defense. Both of them over to the dive gate. Flyboy still leading over Chet Mack. Now both of them side by side. You can see Chet Mack just about making a pass there, but Flyboy still holding off Chet Mack here in the battle for 1-2. Flyboy needing this win to move it to our match final. And, well, it's about to wave a checkered flag as we still have Flyboy leading the charge, and Flyboy with the checkered, and Flyboy makes his way to our grand final. That was 7th. From 7th before we started the match, and that is redemption right there. The pressure was on. Had he been second, wouldn't have been enough. And that one is under review. Results are unofficial on that one. Not too sure what they are looking at, but it means we do have. Well, that could change who is in our match final. Could be Free, Chet Mack, Bent Props, and Flyboy. And pending this DVR review, I believe that means Treviper is on standby pending the DVR review. Treviper on standby pending this DVR review. Tentatively with a pencil, not a pen, a pencil, number 2, as a matter of fact. It's Free, Chet Mack, Flyboy, and Bent Props in our grand final. But again, we do have a DVR review underway. Well, I'm big fan of real estate. I want to thank our newest partner, a multi-GP. Welcome to the Pro Spec Race 1. Advantage Real Estate. They're there to help. Honored to serve. If you're nervous about your property adventure, don't be. Whether you're getting ready to buy or sell, or in the middle of it, just looking for some answers, their top-notch skills will ensure you the best experience possible. It's what they love to do. They live, eat, and breathe North Central Missouri. It has become their passion to understand each and every nuance that makes this part of the country special. They sweat the details, so you do not have to. That's Advantage Real Estate. You can find them on the World Wide Web at mostagentssuck.com. I would agree. Mostagentssuck.com. Advantage Real Estate, one of our newest partners. If you want to move to North Central Missouri, you want to move out of North Central Missouri, maybe you want to upgrade, need a couple more rooms, making some family plans. Maybe you kick the little sons of guns out, and now you need to downsize. Mostagentssucks.com. Mostagentssuck.com. Advantage Real Estate. Look at our pilot pit area of our inaugural multi-GP Pro Spec race. There's a look at our unofficial point standing. And the reason that is unofficial, that is not even remotely close, as right now we do have things under a DVR review. So that hasn't been updated. That could change here again, but just awaiting that final word from our officials. We are a lock. Our Pro Spec next 16 grand final here tonight. Look, keep seeing that logo there on the bottom right of our screen. That's VCI Hobby. With VCI Hobby, you'll have a partner committed to your success every step of the way. A company that specializes in the comprehensive production of drone motors. Their product offerings are primarily categorized into three major directions: motors, cinelifters, and fixed-wing solutions. Their motor models are incredibly diverse, and their product customization services are executed with a high degree of professionalism. VCIHobby.com. More information. I haven't heard word that results are official. I just saw the results up on the screen there. Results are official. So on that last match final, fourth went to Bent Props, third to Chet Mack, second to Free Skyler, and the win went to Flyboy 2009. And so, just like we thought, again, we were just dotting I's and crossing T's. Your final four for our grand final, the next 16, it's going to be Free, Chet Mack, Flyboy 2009, and Bent Prop. Now, that order that I just gave to you sounds a little different than our point standings. Reason being, If you win a match final, you're guaranteed into our grand final. And so Free was our winner of match final number 1. Chet Mack was our winner of match final number 2. Pulled a third in match final number 3. And then Flyboy won match number 3. So it came down to points for Bent Props. And remember, Bent Props made all 3 match finals. And he got a third in the first one and a pair of fourths in the second and third match finals. We saw him advance to a match final, that match number 3, just by that patience and perseverance, right? Just keep running your own race. Everyone else crashed out in front of him. Like, boom, I'm in. And those third or fourth place finishes in the match finals again. He was in all 3 match finals, were enough points to put him here in our grand final. Format for the grand final, it is Chase the Ace. We will run this group repeatedly until someone wins 2 rounds, 2 races, 2 aces to be our next 16 Pro Spec champions. Well, it's time for your grand final of our next 16. Bent Props Flyboy 2009, Chet Mack, and Free are set to go to the skies. We have no Iron Man, but your first ace to chase, let's call him Chet Mack. He is your points leader. That was just part of the journey to get here. It's anyone's game. 2 wins, what we're looking for. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. Fantastic start for all 4. Watch them out on that back stretch right now. A little bit of gap and situation and stretch. It's going to be Chet Mack, your points leader. Then Flyboy, the guy who slid in the last match final. Free and Bent Props. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looked like a little bit of a bobble for Flyboy. We just lost Free. And the one thing we do know right now, it's all Chet Mack, then Bent Props, then Flyboy catching up. 1, 2, and 3.
Chet Mack.
There's Chet Mack onto lap 2. Bent Props 1.4 seconds back, running second. And here comes Flyboy. Flyboy gets onto that lead lap as well, 6 seconds back. So finish points matter. So we already have awarded a 4th. Now we've awarded a 3rd to Flyboy. It's just down to Chet Mack and Bent Props. They're separated by 1.4 seconds, at least when they went on to lap number 2. Now we are halfway through, 2 laps down, 2 to go for Bent Props, or for Chet Mack. Bent Props 2.1 seconds back. So no guarantees, no one flying away with it. Chet Mack with a slight advantage. And Bent Props looking to be hero of the game right now. Remember those 3rds and 4ths? Well, he's looking for a win. Right now, he's guaranteed a 2nd. As we still have one more lap to go. White flag flying for Chet Mack. Here comes Bent Props. 2.7 seconds back. Still consistent. So Chet Mack has a little bit of pressure. He went through the dive. You saw the blue, I think, of Flyboy at the bottom of the dive gate. That's a crash drone. Still 2.7 seconds to the good. Chet Mack, and we just lost Bent Props on lap number 4. And so an early victory lap here in our grand final for Chet Mack. There he goes
Chet
across the line, 4 laps, a minute 57. And Chet Mack with the win of Chase the Ace round number 1 here in our grand final. Second going to go to Bent Props, third to Flyboy, fourth to Free. All right, Chase the Ace, round number 2. Your first ace to Chase, your points leader, Chet Mack. It is on Bent Props, who is second, Flyboy, who is third, Free, who is fourth in the first round. Get an ace to push it to another inning. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. We're going live on the tilt in less than 5. Well, good start. All 4 underway. Not able to bring you video 1, but we're watching here line of sight. It's a heater. Chet Mack, then Flyboy, Free, and Bent Props. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Watching the line of sight cam. Looks like we have a push at the front. Chet Mack and Flyboy back and forth. Flyboy in the blue. We learned that in a crash. Chet Mack just in front of him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like Bent Props is in the caboose right now. But not much separating our entire field. And it's going to be
Chet
Flyboy
Mack.
in the blue just ahead
Free.
of Chet Mack onto
Bent
lap 2.
Props.
Then Free, then Bent Props. 2.5 seconds separating all 4 pilots here in Chase the Ace round number 2 of our grand final of our next 16, a multi-GP Pro Spec. If Flyboy is able to hold off Chet Mack, he is going to push us another round. He was third in the first round of Chase the Ace. Now looking for his first ace.
Chet Mack.
1, 2, and 3.
Free.
Chet Mack, Free, Flyboy, 1, 2, and 3.
2009.
Free had a moment
Bent
up at the front.
Props.
Chet Mack back up in the front. Flyboy was in the front for a lap and a bit. We're at the midway point. There's Bent Props onto that lead lap as well. He is just under 4 seconds away from our leader. And who is that? Right now it's Flyboy again. Then Chet Mack and Free. Still with another lap to go, and they come around.
2009.
There's 1 to go for
Chet
Flyboy. 0.6 of a second
Free.
ahead of Chet Mack, running second. Free in third.
Props.
1.6 seconds separating our top 3. Then we drop almost 4 seconds back to Bent Props. And it looks like issues there for Free. He's going to have to double back around. Looks like he's got huge issues. That moves Bent Props up into third. As we continue watching Chet Mack and Flyboy up at the front, getting set to wave a checkered flag, and Chet Mack's able to do it. There's 2 aces back to back. Your next 16 champion is Chet Mack. Second in round number 2, going to go to Bent Props. Third to Flyboy. Fourth to Free. So as we take a look at them points and the ranking, that's the big question, right? So a pair of fours for free. So a pair of fours for free. That's going to put him fourth. Pair of thirds for Flyboy. That's going to put him third. Pair of seconds for Bent Props. That is going to put him second. And a pair of aces for Chet Mack. And he is your champion. So we run them twice with the exact same drone here in our Pro Spec. And they go Chase Ace round 1 and round 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exact same finish order. And so your winner, Chet Mack. Bent Props, your reserve champion. Flyboy in third. Free in fourth. And so that is how they're going to finish here in our final standings, which I believe is going to make Free Skyler 5th overall, True Viper 6th overall, T-Bell 7th, Water Clocker 8th, Big Ramon 9th, the Herder rounding out our top 10. Our 3 11th, Wheelman 12th, King 13th, Sonic 14th, Ches FPV 15th, and Nurk rounding out our 16 of the next 16. And all smiles on the screen right there with your 1, 2, and 3 here in our grand final. What a night of drone racing. We're only halfway through our program here tonight. Setting the stage here for our championship top 16 of the Multi-GP Pro Spec, Kansas City, Missouri. Gonna be a heater. It'll be coming up here in just a wee while.
All right. All right, we completed our second race of today and the Pro Spec kickoff race here in KCMR's home field, Kansas City. Our third place finisher, Mr. Mark Free. Come on out, Mark. Congratulations. Give you your first Pro Spec medal. This is our first Pro Spec race. I want to thank you for coming out. Where are you from, Free?
I'm from Indiana.
Nowhere. Okay, well, we're also here kind of in the middle of nowhere. So what do you think about the racing today?
The racing was fantastic. The competition was extremely fierce. There's so many professional pilots here. It was a challenge to stay at the top of the next 16 bracket, and I was trying to get to the top 16 bracket. The guys that won were fantastic.
All right, well, thank you, Free. So being your first Pro Spec race, I see you got a Gem Fan shirt on, so that's one sponsor, and Emax as well. Is there anybody else you want to thank?
Definitely want to thank Gym Fan, Emax, and HD0. Their gear is fantastic. I want to thank MultiGP for making this happen, and I want to thank my lovely wife.
Oh, thank you, Mark. All right, let's get a picture here. All right, thanks, Free. All right, thank you. All right, we're going to bring up our reserve champion, as my favorite drone announcer would say, Mr. Bent Props. It's been really exciting watching you today, watching all your wins. Every single time I've had to ask you to come on a scale because you kept winning. It was great. It was really exciting to see you win. What did you think of the racing today?
Most fun I've ever had.
All right, well, I'm going to give you the second place medal. There you go. And where are you from?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
All right, all the way out here from Salt Lake. That's really great. Thanks for traveling all the way out here to our first Pro Spec race. Hopefully we'll have some more, maybe some out on the West Coast. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for getting you here or maybe getting you to some more races?
I would love to thank some people. First, I would like to thank the entire 533 team, specifically Skip and Ethan. Second, I would like to thank my original builder, Zig, for building all my quads. And then I would like to thank my wife and family for letting me come.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to ask you one more question. What was the most exciting part of all the racing this weekend?
Having heads-up FPV in my ear as my spotter.
Okay, yeah, you can't beat that. It's got to be one of the best drone racers, and he was spotting you. Obviously, it helped. You came in second. Congratulations, and thank you for coming out. Let's get some pictures. All right. All right. Thanks, Ben. Props. Have a good. And that was awesome. All right. We got one more. We have a reserve champion, but we also need to have a champion. So come out, Mr. Chet Mack. Woo! Nice first place medal. All right, Chet Mack. Where are you from?
Dallas, Texas.
Oh yeah. We did some racing a while back with some other 7-inch. A little bit different. So is this your first Pro Spec race?
Besides IO, but yeah, this is my first one where I finished.
You sure did. You not only did you finish, but you finished with a medal. Congratulations. What was your favorite part about today?
I think the way the brackets were set up, I didn't do good on my first race, and I was able to bump up and win. That just says a lot. And then just smoothness of the race running was great. It was great.
Well, I'll believe you on that one, and we tried our best. But it is a new format. We kind of copied our Charger format that we ran and modified it a little bit to more of a racer format than a spectator format to try to give people 3 chances to get in the grand final and race for a chance to win a nice medal. All right, Chad, who do you want to thank for getting yourself here today?
I want to thank Beta FPV and Dallas Drone Racing for helping me out, developing me as a pilot over the last few years.
All right, great. If we have some more, will you show up? All right, thank you so much. Now let's get some pictures. Oh, don't go anywhere. All right, all 3. No, all 3 of you guys. That means all 3. Got a hug.
Smoking your cigarette, burning up till there's nothing left.